What's going on, future millionaires? I'm Mike the Investor, and today we're going to be talking about Solana. 3 reasons why you don't want to sleep on SOL. Now remember that these videos are strictly for entertainment and educational purposes only, so you definitely want to do your own research before investing in any cryptos or NFTs. Now I briefly want to take a brief second to say the market has definitely been in an uncertain state and in a flux due to the Russia and Ukraine war, so I definitely want to send prayers and positive vibes over to those people because this is definitely, a serious matter. Now, before we actually dive into the 3 reasons for today, I want to take a brief second to talk to you about Crypto.com, one of the largest exchanges in the space today. So Crypto.com allows users to buy and sell over 250 plus cryptocurrencies while using over 20 different fiat currencies depending on which country that you live in. You can also earn passive income on your cryptocurrencies as well as your stable coins, which is definitely a plus. Then you can use their metal Visa debit cards as well, which I personally have the red one, and you can earn anywhere from 1% up to 8% back in CRO when spending your Crypto.com metal Visa card. Then you have the track option. Let's just say you want to track a few different cryptocurrencies for price alerts. You have that option to do that as well. And then last but not least, if you have any friends that is using Crypto.com, you can actually send them crypto in real time with no fees. Alright, so if you would like to use Crypto.com for yourself and check out their Metal Visa debit card, there will be a link in the description below and the promo code is Mike. But now that we got the intro out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the price chart briefly for Solana before we dive into the 3 reasons right after this. Alright investors, welcome back to the channel. We are briefly looking at CoinGecko here, and we can see the current market cap is right around 1.8 trillion, and we are currently up a little bit at the time of this video at 1.6% on the day. Now if we look at Solana, it's currently ranked number 7 out of the top 10, and I believe that Solana is still going to be a top 10 project in the next 5 and 10 years. As we look at the price, $90.72, currently up just 0.5% today. If you look at the market cap, 28.9 billion, almost 29 billion, and then the circulating supply 319.9 million, and total supply 508.1 million. Now as we briefly just look at the price chart here, Solana hit an all-time high over $260 last year, and I started actually talking about Solana, if you're new to the channel, back around June 2019 actually was the first video I put out. It was around $34 give or take, and I started researching it earlier the year around April, May, and once it hit this high here, shot up to 56 and then it pulled back, I was like, I believe this is the time to go ahead and buy in, and I happened to get it right. Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. And if you briefly just see, we saw a huge run up with Solana here over $188 in September, consolidated a little bit and set another all-time high, and then of course we've seen a major decline over the entire cryptocurrency market since then. Now if we briefly just go over to, I just want to show you, just to put my money where my mouth is, so to speak, you can see June 2019, 2021 is when I put the first video out for Solana, and you can see Solana will be huge, and I definitely called that baby right. And so if we just go ahead and look at Solana Pay, which is going to be the first reason for today, I believe this is going to be huge for the Solana ecosystem. And so if you're unfamiliar with Solana Pay, let's check it out. And so it says that Solana Pay, a new payments protocol, ushers in a new era of payments and commerce. Our team helped create the building blocks for a decentralized, open and truly peer-to-peer payment protocol. Now, we believe that this will pave the way for a future where digital currencies are prevalent and digital money moves through the internet like data. The team also says it is uncensored and without intermediaries taxing every transaction. And the last thing I just want to show you here that I think is very important, you can see the protocol provides a specification that allows the consumer to send digital dollar currencies such as USDC from their wallet directly into the merchant's account. settling immediately with the cost measured in fractions of a penny. And if you briefly just look at Solana's website, you can see the average cost per transaction is definitely a fraction of a penny at 0.00025. Now, one other thing I briefly want to show you here, if you can see who's already on board with Solana Pay, you can see as we move down, FTX Exchange, Phantom Wallet, of course, Circle, Sitcon, and Checkout.com. And so Solana Pay, I think, is huge because it really gives consumers like me and you to send USDC in real time at the fraction of a penny to pay for, goods and services. So I definitely think this is a plus for the entire Solana ecosystem, which now brings us to the second reason, which is going to be the ever-growing ecosystem far as NFTs for Solana. First, we want to talk about just a couple major sales that happened within the first, 60 days of them launching their largest NFT marketplace today called Magic Eden. So check it out. Solana NFT total sales volume crosses 1 billion. And this happened the first month of this year in January. But take a look at this. The first Solana NFT to break 1 million occurred September 11th, which was the Degenerative Ape Academy NFT. And remember, Magic Eden launched in September of last year, which is the top NFT marketplace on Solana today. So I think that is very big. And then the most expensive Solana NFT sold for 2.1 million was nearly a month later, and that was the Solana monkey business. So if we look right here on SO analysis, or some people like to call it Solana analysis, you can see the market capitalization is over 1 billion. And if you look at the #1 project on Solana, Solana monkey business, this is the project that sold for 2.1 million for just one. Current market cap 72.1 million. And you can look at Degenerative Ape Academy, market cap 54.4 million, which is the second largest sale for 1 million currently on Solana. And so if we go over and look just a little bit further on the Magic Eden, we can see that Magic Eden is currently the top NFT marketplace on Solana network, and according to DAppRadar, it is ranked among the top 10 marketplaces with 267.14 million since its launch in mid-September 2021. Now, of course, these numbers are going to be a little bit different, but with it being the top 10 marketplace and it just launched September of last year, this marketplace hasn't even been out a year yet, and we can see that it's already taking market share from OpenSea. Let me show you this last highlighted passage I got here. So although Magic Eden had a higher amount of transactions, the amount per transaction is less than OpenSea, according to DAppRadar. Now listen to this, Magic Eden amazed over 4.5 million transactions within the last 30 days, while OpenSea processed less than half of that figure with only 1.7 million. Yet it has a little over 5 times the total value of Magic Eden. So we can see that Magic Eden has more transactions that's going on. However, OpenSea still has more volume that's happening out of OpenSea, because if you think about the two valuations, I believe Magic Eden is still under 300 million, and I believe OpenSea is valued around 2 billion. So you can see the huge gap, between the two NFT marketplaces. However, OpenSea was launched in 2018, Magic Eden was launched September 2021, and you can already see how much they've already grown as in transactions, more than OpenSea, the #1 marketplace in the world. They're also taking certain market share as well from Ethereum, which I mentioned in the previous video that JP Morgan also took a note of. And so the last thing I want to talk to you about on the second reason is the rumor with OpenSea integrating with Solana, which I think will be huge. And this news is actually coming from Solana News themselves. So you can see January 27, 2022, right at the top here, Solana News. Let's go ahead and move down. Is Solana coming to OpenSea? I just have one passage here highlighted for us. So we can see OpenSea announced 3 weeks ago their 300 million Series C funding round at a 13.3 billion valuation, consolidating its position as the market leader and accelerating its product development in its Web3 ecosystem. Now, the expansion to Solana will be in line with OpenSea's vision to keep growing across more chains. And so we already have seen proof that some of the Ethereum whales who hold Bored Ape Yacht Club, CryptoPunks, some of the other top projects out there. They also host some of the top projects in Solana, which tells you they know that the Solana NFT ecosystem isn't going to be held down much longer. You can see the growth is coming. You can see just by the transaction volume. You can also see the 2 biggest sales already. If Solana wasn't worth anything, why would someone spend 2.1 million on an NFT? Why would someone spend 1 million on an NFT on Solana, right? And so the last reason I want to briefly talk about is going to be the Phantom wallet, which also kind of connects with the interoperability with Ethereum and other chains. Let's check it out. So this is coming from TechCrunch.com. Paradigm invests in Solana wallet at Phantom at a 1.2 billion valuation. Now I just have 3 passages highlighted here for us just to kind of break down the nuts and bolts. The San Francisco crypto startup is turning the Solana attention into a fat 109 funding round led by Paradigm, which we know valued at 1.2 billion. Now the second section here says Phantom's next big ambition is to go multi-chain and add support for another blockchain beyond the Solana ecosystem to its wallet. So there goes the interoperability, right? And so the startup isn't indicating where it's exactly aiming to focus resources other than that is looking to add support for a blockchain compatible with Ethereum EVM, which is Ethereum Virtual Machine. And so as we move down to the last section here, the multi-chain compatibility means expanded opportunities, but also means dealing with headaches of multiple ecosystems, something that could be a challenge for Phantom, which has around 20 employees currently, but they are looking to scale with the new funding. So I think this is huge for Solana. Also with Phantom being the #1 wallet currently, multi-chain compatibility. And I do want to show you one other thing here on this. We can see that Phantom wallet sees a massive growth of 1.8 million monthly active users. And so if you can see right here, Phantom wallet was launched the beta of March 2021, and then the public version was launched in July of last year. But let's take a look at this growth. Look at this monthly active user growth just from 2021. Let's move back up a little bit. Here's March, and this is when the beta was out. And then July, this is when it was actually available for the public to actually use. And so you could see things were a little bit stagnant because things were in beta. And then July from, August, it jumped up a little bit. And then September, which is when Magic Eden, the top NFT marketplace on Solana, is when that launched, we could see things tremendously took off for the monthly active users for Phantom. And as I mentioned earlier, me personally, I use the Phantom wallet when I'm interacting with, Solana NFTs, and I personally use Magic Eden the most out of all of them. And if you briefly just look at some of these stats here, you can see Magic Eden is already on the coattails of Radium Finance. Radium Finance, 7.6 million transactions. Magic Eden, 7.5 million transactions, which it might be over this by now. And so those 3 reasons I think are major for Solana, definitely for 2022, but also in the future past 2022. So let's do a quick recap on those 3 reasons that we covered. So the first thing that we covered is the Solana Pay that allows consumers to send, USD to merchants in real time at a fraction of a penny to pay for different goods and services. I think this is huge for Solana. Number 2, we have the growing Solana NFT ecosystem, where they cross over 1 billion in sales. They're also looking at interoperability potentially, with OpenSea. So I think this is huge. Not to mention, we got prominent people in the NFT space on Solana. We have Ethereum whales that also buy Solana NFTs, and we also have major sales that's already happened within the first year of their largest NFT marketplace being launched, Magic Eden. And also Magic Eden is a top 10, NFT marketplace, which is on Solana. And so the third reason will be, which we just covered, is going to be the Phantom wallet, the growth of the Phantom wallet, and also the interoperability with Ethereum and potential other blockchains. So I think this is all pluses for Solana, and if these things can unfold, I definitely think this is going to add even more value, to Solana as a whole. And so if you gain some value from this video, most importantly, definitely smash the like button. That is all I got for you, and I will see you on the next one.